first down. On second down, Johnson. And an alley to run. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. To throw is Wentz. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away. But it does get away and it's second down. 2 seconds to go, first quarter. Lewis, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 21-0. 21-0 our score after 1. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Let him know, let him know. Kill.
On second down now, it's Hines, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. The last 2 plays, each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Out of the gun, Luck. And this is going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
And having built that kind of...
Hit him next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. From the 38, Wentz. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 20-yard line. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On second down, it's Johnson, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
57 the mic. Watch the slap.
Now Wentz on third down. Open man has got one. It's complete. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. They come out here in the eye. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. David Johnson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Elliott good on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally you know they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 44-yard line. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Locke. He's got Jack Doyle. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Block throwing again. He'll find Hines out of the backfield. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Here's Locke. Taken in by the tight end, Doyle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Okay, Brandon, time for a... We'll start up at TIAA Stadium in...
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. Again, it's Johnson. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. Second and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and that's a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a third down.
Now he will have a first down here at about the 40. Third down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
I got him.
Wentz now on first down. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Wentz now to throw. This will be caught by Brown. 25 yards that time. It's Brown. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas, all day.
Now from the 7, here's second and goal.
Let's get it. Hey, Lou.
Now Wentz. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time, but now it's third and goal.
That was a dangerous throw towards the end zone. Boy, did it hang up there forever. Wanted to run up there and pull it down out of the sky.
Yeah, it felt like it really should have been intercepted. Lucky to have that one back.
You've got to be more careful when you're that close to the goal line.
Now Wentz to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The linebacker Jordan Hicks flying in there for the sack. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
They get 5 yards on the run there. Still left staring at a third and about 14.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Third and long. It's Locke. Looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set in a